All right, what's up, everybody? Um, so this is a live stream about the January 16th, 2023 Community Hub post written by Sydney Silva in regard to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. This post is entitled "Tips and Tricks for New Players." I'm just gonna read off the article, and I just hope this reaches people who really need it and everything. It helps them understand the game. For first time players, it just gives you the information you need so you understand how to play the game if you're interested in playing um, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Whether you want to be a family main or a victim main or a quick match main where you play both, I think playing both sides is the best way to learn the game and understand it, and just understand the strengths and weaknesses of family and the strengths and weaknesses of victims, and the objectives you need to defend as family and the objectives you need to go after as victim. I think playing both sides, which is what you can do in a quick match, is the best way um, to learn the game and play the game. And to obviously, you always want to rotate every victim, and you definitely want to rotate every family member so you understand all their strengths and weaknesses, what they're good at and what they're not so good at, and how to use them in certain situations. So here's the article. Here are some tips and tricks from the team for new players to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an asymmetrical horror game featuring 3 family members versus 4 victims. With the holiday season bringing so many new players to Muerto County, we wanted to break down some core elements of gameplay. For new family members, talking and communicating with veteran players is a great way for guidance, especially about map knowledge. For seasoned players, remember, we all start somewhere, and being able to help out a fellow community member could aid in a team sweep. Talking them through objectives, utilizing family focus, the up button on the D-pad for controller users, and remembering to have fun is welcomed and encouraged. Side note: family focus is a great tool that allows family members to see where the critical objects on the map are, like the generator, fuse box, and valve tanks. They additionally will show you where your teammates are on the map. Each playable family member has their own unique ability and gameplay experience. Leatherface players will spawn in the basement. When down there, you would be the person who gets to put pressure on the victims during the early game. Breaking barriers will open up the basement for your other teammates during the later stages of the match. To ease into learning Leatherface's overhead slam attack, start by gently revving your chainsaw. Once you get comfortable with that, you can work toward figuring out that sweet spot where you can catch noisy victims and one-hit slam them. While Leatherface players may feel a bit of pressure at first, remember that this game is designed and intended to be a fun horror experience for everyone. When I am Leatherface, I destroy every obstacle and as many wooden doors as I can, so victims can't give him the slip. Robert Fox II, designer, producer. Hitchhiker will be able to access more areas of the map for family players who want to gain map knowledge quickly. Same goes for Sissy. He can traverse through gaps and crawl spaces, making him a surprise threat when you find a victim. At his disposal are 3 bone traps that can stop a victim player in their tracks. You can set traps near important items like the valve tank, the fuse box, next to generators, in front of the car battery, or by high traffic doors. That extra second where a victim has to disarm a bone trap can help you secure an execution for the family. For players who want to play mind games and aid in its chases, Hitchhiker is your guy. Cook is the family's team player, as his seek ability allows him to hear noisy victims. When using comms, Cook players can alert their teammates to where victims are. While he is slower than other family members, he makes up for it by being able to feed Grandpa lots of blood and lock down important doors on any given map. With 3 padlocks, the Cook can secure parts of the map while victim players are still in the basement. The Cook may not seem like a go-to pick when starting, but by observing places where victims make noise, you'll start to anticipate their next moves. The Cook can bring out the cat and mouse survival aspect of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's a great pick. Let's face it, it's very satisfying to see someone get clobbered in the head with a broken broomstick handle. The cook's padlocks not only slow victims down from navigating the maps and into escaping, but they also serve as clues for cook players who properly patrol their padlocks. If that padlock has been unlocked when then the cook knows what those pesky kids are up to. Andy Cleaves, community representative. Johnny will be the hunter of a team setup. He's able to sniff out victims who are moving recklessly and can call them out to his teammates. Johnny's special ability, Hunt, allows him to track the footsteps of victims around him. Patrolling key objective areas while also using family focus can make Johnny feel like the natural predator he is. With intense strength, Johnny can also add concussive hits that make victims disoriented. He can instantly barge doors as well. Staying close to buildings and being on the lookout for footsteps makes Johnny a threat. Sissy is an immensely fun family member for players who want to be able to hide, trick, and poison victims. Sissy can go through gaps and crawl spaces, making her dangerous as she can keep up with you during chases. One thing that makes Sissy stand out from the family roster is that she can hide in the same spots victims can. Keeping an eye out for freezers and dressers in high-volume areas of a map can give Sissy a huge advantage, especially paired with using her Bane ability, which poisons and slows victims down. With poison tables around the map, she can refill and continue to poison objects like fuses, valve handles, and health potions. She's very versatile, and you could build her through perks to be even more sinister and menacing. It is important to use the family members who can navigate the map more freely, like Hitchhiker and Sissy, to cut off routes, rather than chase down the same victim on the same path that another family member is chasing. Use their traversal to cut those victims off, trapping them to be caught by one of you. Matt Shacha, brand strategy lead. Nancy may seem like a sweet old lady, but don't let her fool you. She's a tough family member, through and through, armed with a garden hoe. Nancy can be very versatile for players new and old. Her spy ability can show Nancy where victims are, but only through the eyes of the victim. While she is a bit of a slower family member, she can set up to 3 barbed wire traps around traps and doors. The best placement for these traps is where victims will try to escape from a chase near objectives. High traffic areas can seem like the best spot for them, but they can break. As the woman who raised Johnny, Nancy can be a monster and secures some very gruesome executions. As Nancy, it is very satisfying to catch a victim by placing her traps in a location that they are likely to use for a quick escape, like gaps in walls or crawl spaces. Also, learn the map well so when using her spy ability, you can always figure out where victims are. Robert Fox, II, designer-producer. Lastly, don't forget about Grandpa. Each family player can equip their own Grandpa perk that can help their team, such as Family Animal Farm, which gives Nugget an increased detection radius, or Well-Fed Youngins, which gives each family player a stamina boost. Grandpa perks do not stack, so be sure to communicate and look at your team's loadouts to see which would be the best for your match. When you don't know where victims are, feed Grandpa. When you hit or execute a victim, feed Grandpa. When you collect blood, feed Grandpa. The higher level, the more frequently he screams, pinpointing the location of noisy victims. Again, when in doubt, feed Grandpa. Robert Fox, II, designer-producer. Additional, Nuggets. You can cut off routes with less nimble family members by hitting an adjacent room and making sure you're waiting on the other side of that gap a victim is using. Don't always tunnel together. Split up and corner the prey. Matt Shacha, brand strategy lead. New family members should watch out if Leland is running toward them at full speed. It is likely he is likely ready to use his ability. Be intentional with every single swing of your weapon. If your stamina runs out, you won't be able to keep up with victims running away. Also, make sure a victim doesn't trick family members into chasing them around while the other victims prepare exits for everyone else to escape. Robert Fox, II, designer-producer. For new victim players, a victim player's main goal is to stay quiet and hidden as you use your skills to escape the terror of the Slaughter family. Depending on who you play, you can find a playstyle that best suits you with some tinkering. While you may see many victim players attempt to break free as fast as possible. Remember that making noise in the basement, including escaping your binds, contributes to waking up Grandpa. If he wakes up, family players pose an even bigger threat as they can come into the basement to take care of those noisy victims. For new players, Ana would be a solid choice that would help with longevity in a match. With her pain is nothing ability, Ana could withstand more hits than any other victim. She takes less damage from both attacks and falls, which could be the difference between life and death. Mix her ability with stealth play, and Ana will always be the final girl. Whether you tank a hit for a teammate to aid in escape, or you are taking one for the team as a distraction, Ana can do it all. Connie is one of the most popular victims, as she can aid new players during the heat of the moment. With her focused ability, she can pick locks much faster than other victims, but that's not always a benefit since it costs her stamina. A pro strategy for new players is to not trap yourself or your team in the basement area. Connies can unlock all the basement doors before opening them so that you and your teammates don't have to worry about needing to lockpick a door in the middle of a chase. While Connie aids in exploring the map for newcomers, remember that she can be squishy. If you get caught making too much noise or trying to move too fast, you might not make it out alive. Sunny is a great choice when partying up or during solo queue, especially for newer players. His heightened sensibility will allow you to detect noise, such as family members that are making their way to you. With new players playing slow and stealthy, you'll be able to make your way around the map without being detected or caught if you move in directions opposite where the family is. It also means you can help organize your team's exit strategies. For example, if you see all three family members upstairs in family house, you can aid in helping the team escape from the car battery exit without them noticing. I'm a stealth playing gamer, so I love Sunny, as his abilities and attributes both tend to cater to his playstyle. Good communication with other victims will definitely help to keep everyone alive longer, with a better chance to escape. Robert Fox II, designer-producer. Leland is the definition of a team player. His ability Lifesaver allows for some flexible builds that let you test the limits of how far you'll go to protect your friends. He's strong, but he's loud. For new players that want a bit of a challenge, learning Leland can be very rewarding, as he's the protector of his friend group and can barge and stun a family member during dire situations. Leland's keeping watch while a Connie player unlocks the door is a great first step to successfully escaping. Julie is our sporty victim who's not only stealthy but fast. For new players who feel a little more daring, Julie's ultimate escape lets her not be tracked by family members. Pop her ability during critical times to make the best use of it. In addition, she receives a reduced stamina drain while running. Gaining that extra distance between you and a hitchhiker player could be the difference between life and death. I'd recommend Julie for players who value wanting to be quiet and light on their feet during their matches. If I think I have a shot at running for the front road exit, it is because I am Julie. If the family team is slow like Leatherface, Cook, and Nancy, her abilities are aces against them. Robert Fox II, designer-producer. Danny's a tricky player to get the hang of, but can be very good when used strategically. Being that he is intelligent, his ability to study and tamper lets him examine key objects around the map. As Danny gains knowledge, he can tamper with objectives temporarily. The catch is that he needs to sit still to gain this knowledge. That means you need to have a keen awareness of where family players are, so that you can have the time to study a generator, fuse box, radio, or TV. Be sure to let your teammates know which exits you've got covered so they know what you're up to. Additional nuggets. Don't be afraid to abandon a plan. Many times the family will get hung up on whatever exit you were working on, which is the perfect time to go unlock another. And don't forget to use your loadouts to prepare for different family team compositions. Certain perk combos are situational. Make sure you bring them to right situations and have a few viable loadouts. Keep in mind, Your attribute points can be spent differently between different loadouts too. Match out your brand strategy lead. If your health is high, initiating a close encounter is wise, as victims are likely to win. If health is low, victims are likely to lose and die. If Hitchhiker is around, pay attention to his traps everywhere, especially around interactive objects. If Nancy is on the family team, look for a barbed wire constantly. She's tricky. Also, if she catches you with her spy ability, look at something neutral as quickly as possible, and then go somewhere else ASAP. Using a health potion can get rid of Sissy's poison faster. If you see Leatherface chasing you with his chainsaw in the air, run. It could be a one-hit kill. If you see Johnny or Cook doing their abilities, don't move, and as soon as they are done, run far away. If Sissy or Hitchhiker are chasing you, jump down a well. Speaking of which, don't be afraid to abandon a plan and jump down a well into the basement if unexpected family members show up. You can also get healthy and try again when the coast is clear, or try a completely different escape route. Keep an eye on your life and keep health potions so you don't bleed out. Also, keep a shard handy to cut down those charms or to defend yourself. Robert Fox II, designer, producer. Squad Up. We are so excited to welcome a new wave of players to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is a game where you and your friends can recreate some of the most iconic scenes in horror history. You can also play each match like you are the director of your version of Texas. There is a community ready to help and play, so hop on to TCSM now. Thank you for reading. Keep the conversation going on our official subreddit, Texas Chainsaw Game, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.